Hey friends, welcome to Chai and Coaching. Rob here with my buddy Sujay. And in this video, we're going to talk about a really important but difficult topic, homesickness and culture shock, which lots of international students struggle with here in America. Thanks again for joining us. If you guys are new to Chai and Coaching, we're all about helping international students be more successful here in America. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like below, comment and continue the conversation. You guys can even connect and link up with us online and other social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and let's help each other out. So my friend Sujay here, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Sujay. I'm doing my Master's in Information Technology and Management at UT Dallas, and this is my graduating semester. So wish me luck.
We're going to talk about a really serious but important topic, culture shock, culture stress, homesickness, a lot of things that students really struggle with here, but don't really talk about or don't really acknowledge or don't know how to get help with that. I've dealt with it in my time working, traveling all over the world, Sujay and other students here, and we want to just open up and talk about an important topic, maybe make it more easy to talk about, more understandable, make you feel comfortable with it, and then even give you some great tips and ideas on how to better manage it or deal with it when you do feel these things. Sujay, before you came to America, did you even know what culture shock was?
No, not exactly. I never had the chance to experience anything like this. So yeah, I really didn't know what exactly culture shock was until I came here and experienced it firsthand.
And did you get any training or preparation before coming or once you arrived here on how to better deal with it?
No, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know I would go through this. So that's the reason I'm helping Rob do this video today, so that people who come now to the US or any other country, travel to any other country, can know what to expect beforehand and be prepared to it. And know that all this that we go through is just common, and even though nobody talks about it, this is all part of the larger picture.
The normal experience. Yeah. So friends, culture shock can be defined as a disorientation, or when you are just in a different culture, where there's things that are done differently, communicated differently, different attitudes and values. It's just when you are in a place that is not like where you're normally from. And culture shock is the way you are reacting to it and trying to adapt to fit in, and almost kind of confused or realize that this is different, you don't feel in, and it's how mentally, physically, emotionally, all these aspects of you are reacting to a very different, difficult situation that wouldn't be considered normal or comfortable to you. So culture shock actually has several phases, and it's kind of a roller coaster effect of up and down. So the first stage, when you peak up, is the honeymoon stage. That's when things are the best, at its peak. It's the very tip top of the roller coaster, you're excited. And then things kind of crash down at the bottom. There's an anxiety stage where things are hard. Life sucks, you may even hate the place that you're in. But then thankfully, what goes down and up and down and up, it adjusts, and it begins to adjust. And as you adjust, you begin to accommodate, and then eventually you find mastery or comfort or a balance, in this new place, in a new lifestyle. And so we're going to dig into these phases. Sujay, the first one is the honeymoon phase.
Yep.
That's typically the first, several weeks to first several months. You're in a new place, studying, working, traveling. Sujay, what was the honeymoon phase like for you?
Oh, it was all about getting the visa to the US, right? There's so much to explore, so many things to do, so many things that you only saw on TV, but you can experience firsthand, like the food that you saw on TLC, the things the adventures that you saw in the movies. Everything happens in the US, right? Just the thought of me being able to explore end to end the United States was itself the honeymoon period, and also the fact that I would be making new friends, doing new stuff at UTD, projects, assignments, and everything was exciting. The whole prospect of me doing my master's in the US, so that was really exciting, and I think that kept me busy during the honeymoon period.
And so what were maybe some of the big highlights that first semester that you just loved or were fun, or you were just really excited about?
For me, I'm a foodie, so exploring food, I think I just ate tacos for an entire
Texas is famous for tacos.
Exactly. So it's the food in terms of the places that I got to travel, and the new friends that I got to meet, including Rob. Everything was amazing. You don't have time to think about the past. You don't have time to think about the things back home. You don't have anything to worry about because your mind is kind of like racing through everything that you're doing.
Yeah, everything is new. It's shiny. It's fun. It's like whether it's Christmas in America or Diwali in India, it's like all these new presents you get to open up and experience. And I remember going to India. Those first few months were awesome and crazy, and everything was new. The food, the sights, the smells, the people, the culture. I was loving it. Traveling, taking pictures. Just having a yes attitude because I wanted to try everything.
Yeah.
and then it changes. So the second phase, people call it the frustration, the anxiety, the rejection phase, the second phase. So honeymoon goes up, and then it comes down. Wherever you go isn't as perfect as maybe you thought it was. Things are different, and it's hard. It's where you begin to dislike things. You're missing home. This is when a lot of homesickness comes in, when you especially begin to tank out at the bottom. And this happens several months in. For a lot of students, it's maybe the end of the first semester or the beginning of the second semester, which is kind of right around now, especially for the fall students, around that winter break time, December, January, February. And Sujay, what was that kind of second rejection, frustration, anxiety phase for you like?
For me, this part of the journey was a little interesting because I could see my friends go through that phase of that, the frustration. But I was like, I can stay without my parents. I can stay without Indian food. But then during the end of the second semester, I was ready to take the next flight home back to India because I could feel it. I hated everything about the US and I missed everything about the India, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the food, the people, my family, everything. So it came a little later. So it is going to come. So you can talk yourself out of it. You can tell yourself it's nothing, it's normal. But for everybody that low does come. And luckily for me, Rob was with me during that time, and he helped. He helped me through that phase because I was like, Rob, I can't do this anymore. I just want to go back to India, and he helped me through that part. And luckily I was so desperate, I just booked tickets to India for the summer. So having done that, and also having speaking about it with friends and family and doing things to keep your mind occupied is a very important phase. Because you shouldn't give up. You're here to do your masters, right? That should be your focus. You can't let these things bother you or distract you from your aim. So go out, meet people, do different things, and have fun, and try to keep that part blocked, and just think about the good stuff that's going to come.
And so for me, I totally remember that time with Sujay, but he's not the only one. I know tons of students. It's always kind of that December, January, February time where they're just breaking down. They open up and they tell me how hard it is, how much the studies are different, how they don't like America, how much they miss home, and they're just rock bottom. And my heart breaks for them, but I tell them, you know what? This is normal and this is good because this is how you're supposed to feel. And I remember feeling that in India. Several months in, the newness had worn off, and I'm an engineer, and India broke my engineering brain. At first, the craziness of the traffic, I loved it, and then I thought, this traffic is driving me crazy. Or trying to get things done, or whatever. Just the things that I thought were fun, they weren't very much fun anymore. And there was definitely times me and my colleagues would get frustrated, we would miss home, we thought things were better in America and everything in India was terrible, which isn't true, but that's how we felt at that time because you're rock bottom. But thankfully you don't stay there. And if you, and we'll talk about more tips later on how to overcome this, but there's definitely practical things you can do. And so you can come out of that in a healthy way. And that third stage is the adjustment stage, where you begin to come back up and you level out and you find a balance. And Sujay, what was that like for you after hitting that hard spot, kind of that end of the first semester being the second, and then how did you adjust?
So luckily for me, I got to travel back to India. So I did it in the summer. I went back home, got adjusted, met my family, met my friends, and ate a lot of Indian food. And then I was like, okay, now I'm ready to head back, and now I'm ready to focus on my studies and graduation and doing my internship. So all that helped. Knowing that things will only get better from now on because you pass through the rough patch, right? So that was how I came through the downfalls of this culture shock.
And the longer you're here, for most of the time, the longer you're going to be able to embrace and adjust and learn and fit in, and it actually becomes a new person. And then the more you do this, the more you adjust, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you mature, the more you learn to function in this new place, this new culture with new people and new ways of doing life. Not throwing everything away in the past, but blending. Then eventually you come to the fourth phase, which is either acceptance or what they call the mastery stage, where you have become understanding, you fit in, you feel comfortable, you know how to do it, whether it's study, life, relationships. You can move back and forth between both the cultures. And so you peak, you're gonna tank, whether you want to or not. You're gonna adjust, and you're gonna find a healthy balance right in the middle where you can live in both worlds, and have a happy tension of America has its pros and cons, India and China has its pros and cons, Canada has its pros and cons, The Middle East has its pros. There's no perfect place, and you learn to take the best of both worlds, and you become a better person because of that.
Exactly. When I came back, it was about taking the best of what was back in India and what is good about the US and trying to balance it out. And yeah, going forward from there on, yes, it's about taking the best of both worlds, like you said.
Hey friends, thanks for joining us in this video. I hope that it was really helpful to learn about culture shock, homesickness, and depression. Be sure to check out part 2, where we'll give you specific tips on what to do and how to deal with these things. And yeah, please follow just the advice that me and Sujay shared about learning about homesickness and culture shock. This is really serious stuff, and we want to help you guys out with it. If this video is helpful, give it a big like, and don't forget to subscribe to get other helpful content, and be sure to connect with us online on social media, and we'll see you guys next time at Shine Coaching. Cheers.